Welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Hey everyone, this is Guy with Jewelry Store Marketers, and we're here at the Atlanta Jewelry Show. And I'm here with Elisa Dillon.
Hello.
As always, my lovely co-host. Ding.
And
today we have Andreas
Argentinis.
Argentinis. Okay.
Hey, cheers.
Metal Pressions.
Metal Pressions.
Savannah, Georgia.
Cheers.
Wait till you talk to this guy.
All right. Fantastic. So,
Where do you guys want to start?
Well, why don't you tell us about your company? What do you do?
So we're Metal Pressions. We're based in Savannah, Georgia. We've been around for about 15 years, and we make what I classify as fine personalized jewelry. Well, what makes personalized jewelry fine? Because, text on a charm is kind of one-dimensional. So we accent personalized jewelry with elements from finer, more designer type of jewelry, like mixing metals or putting a bezel, creating depth and contrast, adding burnished stones or pave stones, and just creating something that's much more visually interesting and exciting for those really important moments, right?
Yeah.
So make it special. Like the national brands that you can just, change some text on a charm is very one-dimensional. The other thing that we did that sets us apart is that we created a platform that you can design your own jewelry, not only online, but in store. So we put that experience into a design center or a kiosk where retail stores can use our platform to create one-off bespoke pieces in real time. But wait, there's more. I'm like one of those knife commercials, like late night. Wait, there's more. Not only do you get two knives, but you get a third paring knife.
Yeah.
No, but we can actually control and interact with that device remotely. So we're doing what I call live interactive collaborative design. The salesperson's there with the customer. They need some help. They engage with us, and we kind of put our input in and work in a way that allows the customer to participate in the design process. And I think that's one of the biggest things that people don't talk about from like a design. Designers are like, maybe they're driving the design. In our brand and our model, the customer's really driving that experience. And I think that's what really makes pieces special.
Yeah,
So that's the nutshell.
Yeah.
Solid precious metals, real diamonds. We might switch to lab. That's another conversation. Don't get me on that soapbox.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yes, your lovely wife and partner.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she these two pieces, which I just think are great.
Ooh.
Anyway, so you got obviously we have
Nice.
What do you tell me about these pieces?
Yeah. So
Andreas?
here, you've got. Make sure I don't spill that on any of your awesome equipment. But yeah, so this is a nice piece. It was an example of your ability to place text in varying positions. You've got a little the face of a sun is done in raised gold with some engraving detail. We do contrasted finishes, so the background is done satin and the raised element is done polished, so that we can just get something that catches our eye. And this is kind of a simple, navigational compass.
Yeah.
But it's silver with a wide rim.
I love it.
Now and it's got a little diamond in the center too. From here though, we did. Light of my life. I was going to say we can't customize
I love
the
the
back.
thing on the back.
I don't remember everything we've done. It's like a blur sometimes
Yeah.
in jewelry. Like the
Well, you
jewelry
make a
tornado
lot.
is what I call it. All these pieces floating in my head. I have dreams of jewelry. It's a lot of fun. But so this is a great example of like doing customization that you might not be able to get from a national brand or chain.
Right.
It's super exciting.
Yeah.
That's cool. So this technology, so you have a device in the stores that allow them to communicate with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has a catalog.
Yeah.
There's some neat features, right? So you can navigate our site as an online catalog.
Yeah.
Anything you see, you can load it and it acts like a template, and then you can quickly modify it, or you can create from scratch.
Right.
It's two-dimensional because I don't think you need a three-dimensional design platform in a store. I don't think the sales staff can use it. I mean, there's some other companies, I won't mention their names, that have tried to put that product out there and nobody uses it, like a version of CAD. Our adoption rate is very high. We're an emerging brand, so we have like a handful of stores right now. We're about 14, 15 stores. I'm expecting to double that in the next two to 3 months.
Good.
So I hope to be like at 30 stores or so. And we've cut our teeth with some of the biggest, most respected stores in the country. So we understand the dynamic on the sales floor. We've got an incredible training program that we get staff up to speed so that your average sales staff employee, maybe who's not a creative, can use our platform.
Wow.
And that's the holy grail of making this work. Getting from point A to a design in in minutes, not hours, right?
love it. Right.
And it's fun. The customers love it. They jump on board. It's wild. We get on the phone and we have a blast. It's like a jewelry party right at the store.
Well, the creativity is endless,
Mm-hmm.
and to be part of that journey or process, it makes you the customer and their jeweler even more trusting to each other, and that's really what you want, somebody you can trust and deliver. But yeah, these items are just great with the personalization, a little bit different, I have to say, from other, like you said, there's definitely some set you apart pieces in here
Thank
that
you.
I haven't seen in other ones. And obviously, did you go to the school down in Savannah where you guys are from?
No,
or no?
self-taught. You're talking about SCAD. They have a great
Yeah.
program, and they put out a lot of good designers, but we're self-taught from the ground up. Like I have.
There
yeah,
you go.
yeehaw.
That's wonderful.
yeah.
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I have a degree in accounting and finance. Go figure. My wife has a degree in biology. But yeah, we stumbled into it sort of out of a necessity.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of experience in a web background, and she was dabbling in metal stamping at the time. You know, we switched to kind of laser engraving because the power of the platform allows you to resize and stretch and do things. But yeah, she was kind of like a boutique craft thing, part of that sort of maker movement that was driven by Etsy.
Yeah.
And you know, we're in a position now that I realize like the web has changed significantly. I think the web took away a lot of this type of jewelry and put it online. Again, Etsy or some personalization whatever.com. And jewelry stores are missing this. They used to do a lot of it and they don't anymore. This platform helps get that business back because I think it took off. The web also, I have a lot of critical commentary about the web because it's no longer the Instanet, right? It's now a discount marketplace, and the Facebooks, the Googles, the Instagrams, well, they've maxed out on their user base. So the way they make more money is by taking a bigger piece of the pie of what we're selling online. So I'm really not interested in that space. I'm looking at retail stores, expanding there. I think we give them a great value add and help them bring back the customers that they lost to the web, right? By the way, Etsy's changed dynamically. A lot of this stuff is not the artisan handmade thing that they pitched back in the day.
It's a little bit different, I know.
Oh, significantly
The
different.
advertising and alone is so different than what they've done before, too. So.
Yeah, I mean they're a powerhouse in the online industry and some other marketplaces, but a lot of it isn't artisan custom crafted anymore. It's a mix.
I mean,
there are
yeah,
still
so-
some out there.
I guess the moral or lesson learned here is that jewelers and any type should look at the craftsmen and don't forget the artisans when they're opening their store trying to sell somebody, because this is the real deal. This is, there's a lot of love put in here rather than being mass produced. And no offense against Etsy, but really, let me ask you this for people that want to get a catalog or want to buy a piece. Is there a buy-in for with your
we
company?
have. I think things are going to change. So, talk about a buy-in. It's probably about $6,000 to get started. We have a show special for $3,000, which is like kind of off the hook. $3,000, you get $3,000 of jewelry at wholesale prices. You don't have to use that all in stock because stores are trepidatious about buying too much things and getting stuck about the turnover.
They don't want
So you
that.
need a few samples to sell off. You don't need to spend $3,000 in stock that you may not sell because this is personalized. So
Right.
it's not all cash and carry. The rest you'd hold as a credit. Right now, for the show special, you get the kiosk for free, the design center. And then we do $1,500 of cashback training incentive for staff.
Wow.
And that's the key. So it's like
Training.
training.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so we train staff through these cool interactive activities that are small bite-sized tasks done over a protracted long period of time. So they get the idea. It's wild.
Cool. That's cool.
We figured it out. We pay them cash. Cash is king.
Yeah,
Come talk
you're good.
Come talk
That's
to
how
me.
you do it.
But we make a lot of friends. We interact with stores and we interact with the sales staff differently than any other brand that I've seen.
Yeah.
To date. So we're just doing things a little different.
Cool. So, is every jewelry store your target customer, or what's the
Look,
typical customer for you?
Theoretically, it depends on their audience.
Got it.
Some stores may not be doing this type, but I would argue that you need me then if you're not selling this type of jewelry.
Exactly.
I think, what do I say? What's the ideal one? I have so many. I have like a store in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. These are very traditional guys, kind of old school that you wouldn't think would adopt technology. It's working phenomenal in their store.
Good.
I also have we have Tappers is one of the early adopters in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
They have a design center
Love
there.
Tappers.
They're incredible. We're incredible business, incredible family. They've been
Yes.
super supportive. They were the first to take us on,
Oh,
and they
wow.
allowed us the courtesy to kind of develop and refine this. And now that we refine with them, we're doing well. And then we decide to do trade shows. So it's really more about what the interest of the store is. The store who's just like, I want to sell something at a case. I don't want to deal with this. That may not be the best fit. But if you're doing custom already, or you know that you need to reclaim this back into your store, then that's the right spot. I think stores will start changing their hiring. They might bring in more of a creative, like a graphic designer,
Yeah.
who'll start to do a little bit of sales and work with our interface. Our interface works a lot like Photoshop or Illustrator. We have it in the kids' camp. There's 7-year-olds using it and like blowing the doors off, having a ton of fun. So it's easy to use. It's just we know our industry can sometimes have a lot of friction to change, and it's beating that friction.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like, what's your ideal store? Really, it's like, each store, I got to figure out what the friction point is and how do I address that and how do I earn the confidence of each sales rep, right? How do I get them to be a fan of Metal Pressions and know that I'm going to make you look incredible in front of a customer? Because technology is scary, right? It's something that's dangerous, or like you don't want to show it in front of a customer because you can get egg on your face.
Right.
My job is to make sure that all those people look great in front of their customers, and when we execute on point, and we do. And I put a lot of time and passion into that. So,
Wow.
Oh, the catalog alone. I mean, I think that's what blew me away. You've got this absolutely beautiful catalog. Is
Thank
that
you.
what the jewelers put in their store? Like
that's just our retail partnership catalog. So we don't do a lot of print. It felt like
gourd.
velvet.
It feels like velvet. It's very rich. The layout. It's just really well
People
done.
pick it up and they start rubbing it. Like, what is
Yeah.
it? What is it?
What
Velvet?
is that, velvet?
What is it? Velvet?
Coming to America.
Yeah, right. It's a nod. We do things that are nod to traditional jewelry, right?
Yeah.
So the
I love
black,
that.
the velvet
Nice.
feel. You can't forget the roots that this industry came from, and there's a lot of tradition in it. And
I mean, how many other guys are walking around the booth with a
I got my jeweler's apron on.
jeweler's apron on? Chuck would love that because he's all But
You got to do things a little differently.
yeah.
And we're doing things differently, and technology is a piece of it. But I think there's also a lot of bad tech out there too. I go into jewelry stores and I see a lot of the media off, and these are like things that I learned over time, like simple things. The device has to come on automatically and it has to shut off automatically. You should not ever think about that part of it.
Right.
We've done that. If you walk away from it and you forget to save your design, you could lose it. So we created a simple auto-save feature that temporarily saves the piece you were working on, so that you don't work for an hour on it, or 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it was, and then you lose it in front of a customer, and you're like,
Oh.
So we don't want those moments. Because look, you screw up once, that's it. You're only as good as your last piece of jewelry, right? So, or your last experience with a customer. Very, very important things difficult things to earn that respect, and then you better do everything you can to keep it.
Amen.
And that's my job.
So you-
Testify.
Your top customers, you mentioned a few of them. How many pieces are they doing, or how are they?
It varies.
Doing a lot with it.
Things come in punches and bunches, right? We got I call it, I don't know if you call it this, the OND, October, November, December.
Yeah.
And that's going to
OND.
represent a huge percentage of your business.
Sure.
We do a great Valentine's Day business, Mother's Day, Father's Day. There's a little graduation. We're not doing a lot of traditional bridal. We do wedding bands. What always surprises me too is like, guys, let's get it together, man. More guys call me the week before
of
their
it?
wedding, like 7 days or less for their wedding band. So we do a lot of that.
It is true. They always. I get it too.
But so like it moves. Like a store could move a dozen pieces in a month. Ranging, and the price ranges are all over the place. We kind of got a spot for everybody. You can buy something under $50. You can design a $30,000 piece.
Right.
So we fit for a lot of different stores. But the sales volume and the sales price can vary significantly. But we're also tied to the holidays. So you get 20, 30, 40 in a month. Versus July. Like
Yeah, that's a
crickets.
different story.
I can't make a cricket sound. I'm not
Yeah.
very-
Look how this has got the little baby
Oh, yeah.
baby feet.
The engraving is that
It's really good.
is that done with laser?
Yeah, laser.
Laser.
But deep.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it almost looks like it's not embossed.
Well, stamping.
Stamping.
That's what it looks like.
We started off as stamping, but stamping is nice for a couple of reasons. One, it's artisan, of course, people love that.
Yeah.
I would argue that the consumer isn't really super concerned about stamping right now. I don't think they care.
No, they
but
don't.
but why do people like the stamp product? Because of the versatility and the depth. So
Right.
stamping created a deeper impression than most conventional engraving, and then you could have some fun and put all this stuff all over the place. So you just got to run a laser long enough and powerful enough to create a deep engraving.
Yeah.
I think equipment long time ago might have been lower powered and the time was too long, so your local jeweler or whoever wouldn't run it long enough because they want to be done in a few minutes. Well, now with the power, we have a very powerful laser. Well, I can do deep engraving in a few minutes at depths of something to the tune of anywhere from 1/4 millimeter to 1/2 millimeter deep, or I don't know. Did I bring the we can cut straight through with the laser too.
Right.
And cut out shapes and do some really
What was
really
one
cool
thing
things.
you're saying you always have in your pocket? You have a good piece of advice.
Well, yeah, every
There's a good
guy
piece of every guy.
should have a piece of jewelry in their pocket. So you come home late and she goes, "Where were you?" And you might have a little beer and you say, "I was out shopping for this." So yeah, you just got to keep a piece of jewelry in your
Advice
pocket all the time.
101, man, from Andreas.
Yeah. So yeah,
That would be
keep
really
yourself
cool.
out of
That
trouble.
could happen all the time. Yeah.
I keep guys out of the doghouse all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm good at.
That's it.
Well, if you're I know you'll be exhibiting back here in Atlanta again. So this episode will come out, and once it's out on air, be sure if you're attending Atlanta to come and visit them in person. But why don't you tell us how and where they can find you?
Well, the website's metalpressions.com. That's an abbreviation of impressions, but don't worry, if you screw it up, you'll still find us. We're pretty well indexed. So metalpressions.com. You can reach out that way. There's contact. There's a phone number. And
See us at the Atlanta Jewelry Show.
see us at the Atlanta Jewelry Show. We're going to be doing the Select Show in Dallas.
Oh, good, in September. Okay.
Yep, September, 2 weeks, we'll be in Dallas. That's really going to be it for the year.
Okay.
And, jump on board soon. Like I say, we're an emerging brand.
Yes.
Designer, I never fancy myself a designer, maybe artisan jeweler. So, but up and coming. And I think, this will be the popularity of permanent jewelry.
Yeah.
Because it's an experience. And I think that's what stores are missing. They're missing
Absolutely.
experience.
Right.
It's got to change a little bit. So,
All right.
Wow. So
Wow.
call Andreas for an experience in your store. Because
Yeah.
you're right. That's where it's going.
I think so. I think so. We got to change.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Hey.
much. Cheers, guys.
Cheers to a great.
Thank you.
We'll be checking back with your success.
Fantastic. So check it out. MetalPressions.com. Check out Southern Jewelry News. Check out Jewelry Store Marketers. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
See
guys.
in the next episode.
I really appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry Podcast. For more information about the show, please visit southernjewelrynews.com/podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you can catch the next show. See you then.